As you open your eyes, your feet hit the ground. You step out of bed, maybe as you sit and reflect with your coffee, the kitchen table. I want you to do me a favor. This is something that brings me substantial peace of mind. And I'm thinking it could be a value to you as well. I want you to take those things you consistently think about, right? The ones that have been bothering you or troubling you consistently come up in your mind. The ones that you thought about yesterday and the day before and the day before, you know this is so-called problems. Not so positive narrative stories about why you can. And instead, think about each one's corresponding ideal, what the perfect situation would look like. If you could run each quote-unquote problems around the perfect story, the most exciting narrative, and then ask, what can you do today to move one step closer to the place you want to be? How can you make those ideals real? The reason this is valuable is because it reminds us that we are not powerless. Quite the opposite. It shows you how new and exciting and untapped your future is. This is your opportunity to remind yourself that you are not yesterday. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not any of those things. Even though our minds often trick us into believing itself. It's kind of like running around the same block over and over again. You become so accustomed to it that you forget you can take a right out of your street and go anywhere you want to go. See anything you want to see. Every morning is a fresh start, an opportunity to connect new dots, and you can point that compass any direction you choose. You are shackled to nothing, bound by no one, and admittedly that can be hard to hear. Right, I remember the first time I had that realization. And admittedly that can be hard to hear, right? I remember the first time I had that realization that most of my limits were self-imposed, that I was complaining about the work I did, the place I spent my time, and who I was spending it with. It bothered me from the second I opened my eyes in the morning until I closed them at night, until I realized that I had more control than I could even imagine. And that detaching from the past, yeah, it could hurt. It would be scary, I swear. Yeah, it would hurt. It would be scary. Sure, I would lose some things, but what a world to gain. What a story ahead. For some reason, things seem so messy and complex that we overlook our ability to simplify and change them. If it doesn't bring value to your life, you have the power to fix it. And maybe not overnight, but human beings are resourceful, resilient. If you have an outcome in mind and you're believing in it, a step in that direction every day will come to mean everything. It's defining, so no, this is not just an ordinary morning. This is the beginning. This is where you are placed with the opportunity away from the old and towards the ideal.